recording button. Double tap to activate.
What? We're in the kitchen right now. Yeah, even I have to stop stitching every now and then to cook and eat. Yeah. So if you wanted to talk just yarn and just knitting, sorry, this is not for you, except for what I'm wearing. If you're here for the yarn, check out this shirt. I knit this myself. It is purple. It has a circular yoke. It is short sleeved. It has lace leaf detail all the way around the yoke. I did some shaping right up the bust. Took it in for some waist shaping. Of course, I flared it back out because that's what I love. And then added some feather and fan at the bottom. So that's the yarn for today, if that's what you're here for. But I thought we'd also talk about other things that are important to me and important to my life. So if all you want is yarn, you can totally check out if you want. But if you do know, I'm visually impaired and I live miles from a bus stop. I don't get to a store very often. I can't take an Uber every time that I run out of milk and eggs and cheese. When I do have the opportunity to get fresh products from the store, of course, I get things like chicken and ham, eggs, milk, butter, cheese, ice cream, right? Salad, apples, the produce, oranges. I love that stuff. And for most of my life, I made sure I lived near a bus route or could take a bus or even walk to the store. When I got my job at the college, I lived just a few blocks from the store. I could walk down the hill, get my own groceries, put them on my back, walk back with my cane. No big deal. But now where I live, it can be months before I get fresh food. So I've had to learn to be innovative. If you watch my video about when you're living in a giant whip, life in a construction zone, I said I've been a prepper since before prepping was trendy. So I just wanted to share with you one of the products that I buy, of course, off the Amazon. Thanks, Jeff Bezos, for making it possible for non-drivers to live way out in the boonies. So if you're not able to drive and you need to have some supplies in your house because you can't get really important things like cheese. I mean, come on. When you're in a crisis, a natural disaster, cheese, it can still be important. I like cheese. I do. So this is from Nutristore. It is freeze-dried pepper jack cheese. When I saw this on Amazon, I was like, I don't know. Is it going to be like that? Cans of that crumbly Parmesan from the 80s, right? I grew up in the 80s. We had plates of spaghetti and tomato sauce, and it had that. We put that Parmesan cheese in the can on it. It wasn't that good, but we ate it. It didn't even compare to real fresh Parmesan, but we still ate it, right? So I'm not saying that this is gonna come close to being real cheese. But let's take a look at it tonight and talk about it. You can see it, and it's crunchy, and it's good. It really is. I could honestly eat it by the spoonful. Yep, I could do that. But I thought tonight we would mix a little up, take a look at it, talk about it, because my channel is about living with a visual impairment. And the reality is that for some people who are visually impaired or may have other disabilities that keep them from being able to independently go to a store, well, we might not have that luxury. Millions of people have disabilities where they can't drive themselves to the store. So I'm going to go ahead and put my measuring cup in the can, and I am just going to use a Ziploc bag, right? Why not? Why not? So I'm gonna put in 1 cup. And then I'm gonna put in 1 more cup. Cause hey, it's cheese. You think I won't eat it? Of course I'm gonna eat it. It's definitely crunchy. If you're somebody who's into crunchy cheese, like if you enjoy things like cheese flavored popcorn, crunching on that, you definitely might enjoy crunching on this. And it's good on a salad. If you like a salad and you like a little cheese crumbled on your salad, and you also like crunchy stuff on your salads, right? This could be a good option. So you don't want to put like hot water in it unless you want to totally melt it. But we're not going for that today. So I'll be right back. I'm not going to take you over to the sink, but you can hear the water. I'm using a 1/2 cup measure. Now I don't fill my 1/2 cup measure all the way full, even for 2 cups of cheese. I hope you can see it. I can feel the edge of it. It is not quite full. So maybe, I don't know, what would that be? It's not a full 1/2 cup though. The scant 1/2 cup. And then I'm just gonna pour that into the Ziploc bag. We're gonna squish out the air. We're gonna zip it up. And then we're just really gonna massage it good in there. I'll be honest with you, I've used this cheese before. This is by no means my first time to experiment with it. I've been out here for over 9 years. I've been doing a lot of experimenting with food. What are my food options? Because I'm so far out in the country, my grocery stores that have delivery service won't deliver out here, okay? The Walmarts won't deliver out here. Even Amazon Fresh doesn't deliver out here. I mean, come on, Jeff Bezos. Give me some Amazon Fresh, right? So we're just gonna squish this around for a while with the water. And, well, I'll be honest with you about Uber. Like Uber drivers, if you're at the airport, like when my sister comes to visit, if she's at the airport, she can get an Uber and they'll bring her out here. But you can't really catch an Uber out here. Yeah, it's pretty remote. In fact, she can have a hard time even getting an Uber driver from the airport to take her out here. She can wait sometimes a long time because Uber drivers don't always want to come out here, right? Uber drivers, they know it's going to be a lot of gas, and sure, she'll pay, but they, of course, want to find another pickup on their way back. They don't want to drive 20, 30 miles to the next person that they're going to pick up. They don't want to do that. So if they think that there's not going to be another person within, 3 miles or something, then they're not necessarily going to be super excited about picking her up to come out to this remote location. And many of our Uber drivers are city folks. She had an Uber driver that was from the Seattle area. Let's just say, when he came out here, I mentioned before in that video about living in a giant whip that we have our own well. When he drove out here, he saw our pump house. And he had no idea what it was. If you don't know that, when you have your own well, it has a pump. And you have a pump house for it, for all the mechanical stuff. He didn't even know what that was. He was like, what's that? It's like a shed in the ground, right? With the roof sticking out. That's okay. If you don't know what that is either, it's totally okay. I know not everybody lives like I do, but that's how people live. Some of us, country folks. So a lot of city folks and some of the city drivers, they don't know too much about rural life. Some of them don't want to come out here just because they're scared. They don't want to be way out in the country. I have to be honest with you. I might have said something a little sarcastic to him, made some jokes about what that pump house was. But in the end, what I've told him, of course, it's good to educate. And there's nothing wrong with asking a question and learning. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and put the cheese in the fridge. Here we go. Okay, now they say that you can use that stuff in about 20 minutes. So, I don't know, I guess we could set a timer for 20 minutes and look at it. So honestly, I've tried using it within 20 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now. While you wait, would you like to play around the super quiz of the day?
No, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna set a timer for 20 minutes and we might come back out and take a peek at it, okay? But I'll be honest with you, I've used it after 20 minutes and then I've used it the next day after it's set overnight. By far better if you let it sit for several hours overnight. That's just my personal experience. Okay, we're gonna hit pause.
Pause. Pause. Pause.
Hello, hello, we are back. Familiar territory, right? This is the space that you know. We're back in the bedroom where we do our stitching. Yeah, this looks better, right? Okay, I apologize if you watched my video on Naked No More from Finish It Friday for Mr. Bear. Well, if you don't know yet, I'm visually impaired. I'm my own director, producer, editor, videographer. That camera was seriously listing. I hope y'all did okay with that. No, it wasn't your eyes. It was my eyes, for real. Wow, that was bad. Oh my goodness. Yikes. But if you missed that video, Mr. Bear's sweater is done. He's so happy to have a sweater to wear with us. He's feeling sophisticated. Yeah, he is. And guess what we're doing today? I just said in another video, I'm not very good at amigurumi. And I am not good at amigurumi. It is not my strength at all. But if you're blind or visually impaired, I am holding up a blue head. It's got a nose on it. It's got two of the safety eyes into it. We're almost done with it. Oh my goodness. I overstuffed the nose. Wow, can you see that? Oh my gosh. If you can't tell though, just from looking at Mr. Bear's little tummy and well, some of his other anatomy, I tend to overstuff my stuff. I like them nice and fluffy and I like them real cuddly, right? So I have a bad habit of overstuffing my stuffies, but they're just for me. So we're making a friend for Mr. Bear. That's what I've been doing today. I was actually working on another project and I was like, I wonder if Mr. Bear needs a friend. I wonder if he needs some companionship. I kind of want to ask him if he needs a friend, how he feels about that. But I kind of don't. I mean, really? I'm a little afraid. I mean, is he going to say, heck yeah, I need a friend. It's a little lonely out here, lady. All you do is knit and crochet and play with your yarn. Oh my goodness. Or do you think he's going to say, oh no, you're all the companionship I need. I don't know. You can let me know what you think Mr. Bear's response is. That was really funny, by the way. If you're blind or visually impaired, I am playing with my stuffing for my amigurumi, and it literally sticks to my shirt. That's hilarious. I had a lump of it on my shirt, and it sticks like sticks. That's crazy. That's hilarious. That cracks me up. So, if you're blind or visually impaired, do be careful when you're playing with stuffing. You gotta check things out and know you're not walking around with big lumps of stuffing stuck to you. Okay? Yeah, this shirt is made with the knit picks we crochet. The yarn was called Snuggle Puff. I absolutely loved it. And of course, sad face. Right? Sad face. Discontinued. I knit this top out of it. I knit a dress out of it. I knit blankets. It is soft. I feel like it gets softer and softer and softer. So I'm pretty sad that it's a discontinued yarn. But apparently, cotton and nylon, apparently, stuffing sticks to it. So there's a lesson in that for sure, for sure. Oh my, that could have been awkward if I was going out anywhere. But I've had plenty of awkward moments, so I'm used to it. It's totally okay. And it's okay for me to laugh about it. It really is. We can't take life too seriously. We have to be able to laugh at ourselves when we're walking around with stuffing stuck to us or whatever. And that goes for everybody. Whether you're visually impaired, whether you're sighted, whatever. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So you might be thinking, like, why would I need freeze-dried cheese, right? Well, you know, cheese emergencies are real, okay? I love cheese. I love my dairy stuff. We'll talk about that. So, should I eat a lot of it? Probably not. It is fattening. I'll be the first to admit. There's fat in dairy, so we should probably moderate how much we eat. I know I should. Anyways, that's for me. You'll have to decide if you can eat dairy or not. How much? That's totally up to you. I'm not here to give any kind of advice in that regard or tell anybody what they should do about their diet and their health. That's not my area of expertise. Although, you know, it's something I pay a lot of attention to. And it certainly is an adjustment. When I lived in Portland, I could walk to a Trader Joe's. I could walk to a Whole Foods. And my favorite areas of the store, I truly was the person that skipped the entire middle of the store. I did. I was the person that would go to the edges. I go to the produce. I have a cart full of lettuce and spinach and apples and oranges and chicken and shrimp, pork loin, all that yummy, fresh food and meat. Things that, well, Amazon just ain't bringing right now. There's still hope, though. There is. One day, they'll be delivering that stuff to me with a drone. I just know it. Kind of creepy, kind of weird, kind of excited. I can't lie. I have really, really, really mixed feelings about embracing the future and technology. Right? I do. I mean, as a non-driver, I'm kind of excited. But is it scary and creepy too? A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I'm using vacuum pack stuffing if you're visually impaired. I'm trying to re-fluff it up for the head here. That's what I'm doing while we're hanging out. I'm putting stuffing in the blue head with the nose that is too big. Yikes. I don't know. And of course, I'll probably overstuff it too. That's just my habit. I probably, with the vacuum pack stuffing, it really is better to let it come out of the bag, fluff up some more, right? I didn't do a very good job of that. I did open it a few hours ago, but I didn't do a great job of really pulling it out of the bag, letting it fluff up. I sewed the nose on myself. I don't even know if it's straight. I put the safety eyes on myself. I don't know if those are straight. I do feel that you can do is you can start at the bottom or the top and you can feel your rows and count them if you're visually impaired. And I definitely did do that and tried very, very hard to stay on that row, to sew on my nose and then to feel where the nose is and then just count up one row of stitches, and then into the next row of stitches is where I put the eyes at. I did try my best to feel just right above the nose, and that's something you can do if you're visually impaired, but I'll be honest with you, my eyes tend to turn out a little wonky. I do my best to place them, whether I'm doing embroidery eyes like Mr. Bear, or safety eyes, or bead eyes, or button eyes, or whatever kind of eyes. I do my best to do that, to count the stitches, count the ones that rows up, count them over so I can get them evenly spaced. but I still struggle. I do. My amigarumi, let's just say, they're unique, okay? I'm not selling mine. There's plenty of people who are super good at it. It is not my strength. But we're hanging out and we're stuffing this. So anyway, I was talking about their freeze-dried cheese. Obviously, it's not fresh cheese, okay? When I lived in Portland, that was like an hour and a half away from the Tillamook Creamery. Yeah, where the cows are and everything. Oh my goodness, I went there numerous times. Like, you can literally go there to where cheese is made, the whole process. They have the Tillamook cheese there. They have the Tillamook ice cream. You can buy it, you can sample it. It's amazing. If you love Tillamook cheese and ice cream, wow, that's the place to go. If you love cheese and dairy and ice cream, that should be on your bucket list. Tillamook Creamery, for sure, for sure. So I've been there numerous times. It's amazing. Okay, what do you guys think? I don't know. I've been there, of the head, if you're visually impaired. So obviously, I know what really good, fresh off, like from the cow, right? Manufactured, fresh, off the assembly line cheeses. So, you know, freeze-dried trees, it doesn't even compare. But when you can't drive and it's no cheese, right? Because you don't have a way to get to the store, or it's freeze-dried cheese, you're gonna go with some freeze-dried cheese. So I know that there are millions of people who have disabilities, who can't drive, mobility issues, whatever. I know that. It's not just visually impaired people. So it's all good. I want to offer that as like a suggestion for people. If you can't drive and you can't always have somebody drive you to the store, you can't afford Ubers every other day for cheese emergencies, right? It's an option, and that's why I'm sharing it. I just want to help people to see that. Plus, if you live in an area where there's lots of natural disasters, like I do, we get blizzards, like not like North Dakota blizzards, but we definitely can get snow with 40, 50 miles an hour wind. We get snow, we get thunderstorms, we get wind, we can get an ice storm, we get wildfires out here. We just had a massive wildfire a couple years ago. So we have all kinds of situations with nature that can cause things to shut down. Like roads can literally be shut down. I'm sure you can hear there's a highway where I live. That road can get shut down. We can have trees down. I was in an evacuation zone, like a level 2. If you don't know what that means have your bag packed for the fire. I knew I wasn't going to leave my house unless I knew it was going to burn down. Because that's pretty much what that means. Your house is going to burn down. Now, I'm not here to give anybody advice at all. I'm not emergency preparedness. I'm not telling anybody what to do in an emergency, when to leave, what level you should leave, whatever. But I was here at a level 2, which is the have your bag packed stage, okay? Sometimes we can lose power during those events. So it can be good to have, to be prepared, to have freeze-dried stuff, because even if you don't have power, if you have some way to make a fire, if you have gas grills, people used to do wood-fired pizza. That was like a real thing. And even a gas grill. You can still cook a pizza on a gas grill. You can. So if you have some way to make a pizza and you got your freeze-dried cheese, guess what? It's gonna be a party at your place. For real. The neighbors will be showing up. Okay? So, right? Like, I don't even get pizza delivery out here. So out here, people are definitely prepared for all kinds of things. So that's the kind of thing where I'm telling people about it. I just like to share with people, whether it's because you have a disability, or you're like me and you're like a prepper, or you live in a really remote location and you can't get supplies for like maybe once a month or something, you know, and you think that cheese is important enough to have. Well, you can definitely try the Nutristore at Amazon. And so I know some people are like, this is not yarn. It's not. Well, this is my channel. And I also love to share with people tips and tricks that I do, tools and products that I buy as somebody who's visually impaired. Things that help me out. I just want to help you out. So that's the only reason why we're talking about freeze-dried cheese today. While we stuff ahead, literally, while we hang out. I mean, there is such thing as head cheese, but that's not my thing. I'm just saying. That is not my thing. Head cheese, no thank you. I'm not that desperate yet. But, you know, we are talking about freeze-dried cheese while we stuff ahead. Do you think the head is stuffed enough? I don't know. Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have 3 minutes and 40 seconds
All
left on
right.
your 20-minute timer.
3 minutes and 40 seconds left on our freeze-dried cheese timer. So maybe we'll stick a little bit more stuffing in there. I don't know. It's feeling pretty stuffed to me. It is. So maybe we'll get out our crochet hook and we'll work on making Mr. Bear a friend. I don't know. I hope he's not jealous. Hope he appreciates all the work I did to give him a friend besides me. I mean, I'm in here a lot stitching, but I'm not here 24/7. So, you know. So, if you're watching today still, I know if you're a yarning person, you were like, I checked out. I checked out when you were in the kitchen. That is not my thing, and that's totally cool. That is fine. But if you're a yarning person and you're still here, what are you working on today? Are you knitting? Are you crocheting? Are you crafting of some kind? Are you working on a project? Do you do amigurumi? Do you even try amigurumi? I don't know. Like I said, it's not my strength. I'm struggling with the crochet two together at the very beginning of the round. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, let me know what you're working on. If you're still here, you might not be here. But if you are, if you stuck around, say hello. Say what you're working on. Let me know. Are you interested in products that somebody who's visually impaired does? Are you interested in the things that I do living way out here as a non-driver? I know it's really unique. I totally get that. If you would have asked me 15 years ago if I could live miles from even a bus stop, I would have been like, yeah, no, not even possible. Not possible. Okay? So, I'm doing it now, but I still know that it challenges a lot of people's belief systems. It does. I'm very, very aware of that. That a lot of people are like, no, it can't be done, okay? I'm totally aware of that. So that's part of why I'm here. That's part of why I share some of this stuff with you. I want people. I know that there are plenty of people who live in rural areas like me. They've been living out here in that country their whole life, and then they start having vision issues. They can't see anymore. Maybe they've got night blindness to where they can drive around in the daytime, but where I live in the wintertime, it goes dark by 4 o'clock, and they're thinking, wow, I can't drive at night anymore. So then they're faced with the dilemma of, do I sell the farm move to town. What do I do? Right? That's a
Storage
legit
space running out. Your
thing
phone's almost out of
that
space. Tap to see some quick
people
ways to free up space and keep your phone running smoothly.
are faced with. I forgot to put my stitch marker back in. That could be really bad. But we'll figure it out, right? And there's Alexa. Okay. Well, I think that I should probably... Alexa, stop timer.
20-minute timer stopped on May's Echo.
Okay. I better pause back here, find my way back around, get my stitch marker back in to the beginning of the round. See, this is a problem I have. I really overstuff things, and then my seam, where in this I did not do a slip stitch and join. I did continuous rounds on this, which I think is better for amigurumi. But I still, when I stuff it, you still end up seeing some stuff on the seam there. So that's something that I have to figure out, even with the continuous rounds, how I can make that tighter. Okay, we'll set that down. I'll put you on pause. It's been 20 minutes while the cheese has been plumping up. We'll go out to the kitchen and check on it.
Pause.
Okay, we're back in the kitchen. Let's get our cheese out and take a look at it. Okay, here it is so far. Here it is in the bag. And here is what we have. What do you think about that? It definitely tastes pretty good. There's cheese. It was creamy. But it's not fresh cheese. I don't think I'd be serving like a cheese plate to the neighbors in the middle of a wildfire or a thunderstorm. But you can cook with it. Yeah. You could certainly can you see it? I don't know. But that's what it looks like. So I do things like make pizzas with it. I make enchiladas with it. I even make quesadillas with it. Really? I have. So you'll have to decide, is it something that you want to have in your house? I mean, cheese emergencies are real. So for me, it's worth it. I just wanted to share it with you. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you don't need freeze-dried food. Maybe you're not a prepper. That's totally cool. Maybe you live above a grocery store. Good for you. I've done that. I lived in downtown Portland in the Pearl District. And it worked for the time, but now I'm here. Okay, well, I think that's all for today. So we'll get back to doing some serious stitching here real soon. Well, actually, I'm gonna get back to finishing the head over there. Okay, well, bye-bye. And remember, creativity is for everybody, no matter your age, your ability, what society considers a disability, right? Creativity is for you. And remember, whatever it is that you do, whether it's knitting or crocheting or sewing or quilting or quilting or beading or sculpting or painting or baking, right? You can be creative with it. You can be creative in the kitchen. I am all the time. No matter what it is that you do, today is a great day to craft and create. And as always, thanks so much for stopping by and choosing to hang out and spending a little bit of your day with me. Until next time, bye-bye.
Pause.